Good morning. Good morning. How are you? It's a bright morning. So, good morning. How is everyone? I hope you are okay. I am very okay. This is the Trading Cyborg speaking. And today is a wonderful day. And I hope you are ready for this session. And today is a wonderful day. Alright, so we are two in the chats now. We can begin. On YouTube, we don't yet have anyone, but soon enough, we'll have people. Welcome all. Welcome once again. We are 5 now. Very nice. God bless you all. 5 of you for always joining me every day. I know it's not easy. I know you have a lot of engagements on your end. But you still find time to join me and live trade with me. So kudos for that. So we shall start on GBPUSD as always. Then we go to US30. Then we go to gold. So our chart today is looking a bit messy. So if you are in the live session yesterday, we left the part where I have decided, by the way, if there is a potential setup, there is no need for me to end the live session exactly after 2 hours, because some of these trades are forming after the session is over. So sometimes the session may extend for even 4 hours, so that we can get just those few pips, because at the end of the day, this is our job. Okay, it's our job to be bored by the markets until we get what we want from these markets. So yesterday our trade went as expected. Price reacted from this sweet spot level. However, I was very skeptical about going in on this level here. That is a sell order. So I opted to wait for price to break this blue level marked here and then retest again, and which gave us around 36 pips, which are more than enough for the day. Okay, so price broke that level around 12:45 and then came and retested once again, and then we got our entry. Now the reason why I was skeptical about going in at this sweet spot level is because once we go to the 4-hour time frame of GBPUSD, once we go to the 4 hours time frame, you'll find out that GBPUSD had closed above of this OB. So there was a potential reversal, a long-term reversal, potential long-term reversal. But looking closely, when we looked at CFTC, we saw that the hedge funds, looking closely at CFTC, we saw that the hedge funds, so this is a British pound Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So I use my commitment, what is it called? Commitment of traders. So if you want to understand the fundamentals without necessarily breaking your head or without necessarily confusing yourself, the easiest and the best way is to understand the macros. And the macros are where the hedge funds are putting their positions. Okay? And you don't need an economics degree for that. You don't even need any special skill to learn the macros. So the macros are showing us that the hedge funds, as seen here, this is a British pound. So this is a British pound Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So these are the macros now, or the fundamentals. So in the fundamentals, we usually have the non-commercial, we have the commercial, and then we have the non-reportable positions. So the non-commercials, these are the hedge funds, Bridgewaters, Renaissance. We have many hedge funds. Then we have the commercials. Commercials are banks who are hedging their positions against these big hedge funds and the big corporations and the big pension. And then the non-reportables, now it is us, the retail traders. So normally the best thing is to look at the non-commercials, who are the hedge funds, because they are trading the same as us. So when we look at the non-commercials, we can clearly see that the non-commercials are adding more positions to their GBP. They're adding more short positions to their GBP pairs. Okay? Are adding more positions to their GBP. Now that tells us something very good or something very important, that we as traders should not be trying to go against what the hedge funds are doing. After all, we are a small fish, and being a small fish, our work is to wait for others to take positions, then we try and follow in those positions also. So the non-commercials right now, they are shorting 122,000 positions as opposed to 83,000 longs. Okay? Now this looks like a tug of war, but generally the short positions are overtaking the long positions on the pound. We can also see that they are removing some of their short positions and then they are adding more long positions. Okay? Now, how do we interpret this into the FX markets? So the way we interpret this is that now this sweet spot level is actually a good level for a sell position. Alright, so here we are now. In fact, I'll be going in geometry. for a for a sell position. Because of one simple fact, that price has closed below our yesterday's market open. Price has also closed below yesterday's New York low. So this is an indicator that price is indeed trying to follow the hedge funds or follow the macros. So this is the way the next level of liquidity will be at this last week's low. But the thing I have learned is that it is always good to wait for complete candle close, and then a retest before going in. So today my bias for GBPUSD is also a sell. In fact, for this week I'm looking to just continue selling. So here we have yesterday's market open. Now let's go to US30 before. So what I am anticipating is simple. Just like yesterday, it's very simple. So I would wish for price to do what it did yesterday. So yesterday we broke this level at 12:45, and then we came and retested it around 1:45, 2 p.m. around 2 p.m. and then we got in. So this is what I would like to see happening. Those were 30 clean pips, 30 clean smart pips. So this is what I want it to do. I would like to see it doing that even today. We close with a strong candle to the downside, then we see a retest using other small candles for us to go in. Okay, now when we do that, our point of our take profit will be around that place. So that is 42.2 pips. So today we are aiming for around 42.2 pips. $42.2 or 43 pips. And our final, what do we call it? So I would like to see this week, I would like to see the bearish move extend up to this level for this week. For this week, by the way, for this week I would like to see it up to that monthly fair value gap or the weekly sweet spot level. That is the best place we can say if we want to okay. Yes, so that is my analysis for GBPUSD for today, and also my analysis for this week. So I expect to see a sell today, a strong sell. Yeah, so around that area. So 42 pips. Okay. Now, when we get to the last week's low, what I'll be waiting to see is the same, just the same move. I'll be expecting to see the same move, just a break, and then a retest, then a push towards that 3, possibly that 3,000, 1.33000. Okay. So that is for GBPUSD. The next one is US30. As I've always told you, sometimes US30 is quite erratic. So sometimes US30 is usually extremely erratic. Extremely erratic. So yesterday, being on a Monday, US30 gave us a very good signal, but it is good that we were not around that. So the anticipation was that US30 will continue to buy, but unfortunately US30 never gave us the opportunity to go in. Instead, what US30 did is that it continued, it even broke the other levels, the other significant levels which we were waiting for, which are these levels here, these lows. So it broke the low of 13th, 17th, 19th, and 20th. And so my anticipation for today is very simple. That it is going to give us a second entry to this level here now. Okay? That is the only thing I would wish to see for USD. But remember, my eyes are on GBPUSD today. Okay? You mean to tell me there was not even a single signal? How could price So you have around 800 points, 843 when price gets to that level. So I will wish to add an alert. The best is usually the 4-hour time frame. So I like to set my alerts so I'm not very sure what USD is planning. But it seems that we are moving to this February low. So those are the ways I simply use to interpret price action. I don't use any other methods. Those are the methods I use. So for price action on USD, I wish to see something like that now. Now we can also check on gold. Gold, I had given my analysis. I don't know whether my analysis was not touched. It was not triggered yesterday, so we can't talk much on gold. So my yesterday's analysis on gold was simple. Since gold has already confirmed that we are on an uptrend, my analysis for yesterday was simple. We get to this level, and then we continue to the moon, so that you can get at least a good entry support. Okay? So ideally, this will be our take profit. This is where I would like to see gold. No, GBPUSD coming to. That's around 194 pips. 194 clean pips. That is what I would like to see gold, GBPUSD coming to. 194 pips. So the recipe is quite simple. We want to see price going below this that level, coming to take a retest, and then giving us our first batch of pips, breaking that level, retesting, then giving us a second batch of pips up to that level. Now from that point onwards, now we can decide whether we are going to buy, or price can decide whether it wants to keep on selling. Right? So that is that now. That is the only thing I can tell you about the technicals on GBPUSD, because that is my anticipation for today. Now the other point is or the other point of this discussion is simple. By the way, you can clearly see that on the daily, on the weekly, this is very surprising because on my broker, price is already bearish, but on my MT4, but on my trading view, it is not showing any reaction. So this seems like a very long journey, but we will get there. Slowly by slowly we shall get there. So I'm anticipating that the whole of this market, the whole of this week, and possibly next week as we start, price will be trying to get to price will be trying to get to level 1.33000, and today may be just the beginning of that day. Actually, we may have started that journey on Monday 23rd of February. So we get to level 1.33000, and then we can decide on other things. So it's going to be a long journey, so you have to brace yourself also. Now, do you have anyone with a question? So yesterday's and today's markets seem to be moving slow during the kill zone hours. But after the kill zone hours, price seems to be moving very well until I start wondering what is not happening. So I've also set an alert So that is my analysis for today. If you have any question, you can ask me. So if you are buying GBPUSD, you have to rethink about your position right now. So my eyes are on GBPUSD right now. You know, we say trading a bull market is very easy, but trading a bear market such as the one we have right now is not easy. It requires a lot of discernment, it requires a lot of humility, it requires a lot of especially discernment. So price is crossing our intended level. My only problem, my only weakness in the markets is when I don't have a feel of the markets. When I don't have an idea of what price is planning to do next. So I am learning that when I don't have a feel of the market direction, I should not try to stress myself going in or even trying to force trades or even trying to, because at the end of the day the market is going to communicate to you. You just have to be patient and on the lookout for the small clues. So last week, let me pull out the 1 hour. Oh, the 1 week, sorry, the 1 week. So last week we went around, we had around 223 pips, my friends. What? So we had 223 pips on GBPUSD last week. So this week also, to say the truth, I'm also anticipating for 223 pips. Yeah, like that. Like that, 234 pips. So this may be in a sequence of days, and our work is to get the proper entries, then we go in. Get proper entries, go in. Get proper entries, go in. Up to when this level is going to be filled. And I believe that today being the start of tomorrow is when we'll have more and more and more and more volatility. So 1 hour has passed. 1 hour has passed. So looking at the CFT, looking at the forex, looking at forex factory. So today we have no news. So we might have slow London, slow New York, as we anticipate tomorrow. So tomorrow we don't also have news. What? On Thursday is when we have the first news, unemployment claims. And then on Thursday we have PPI. So that is not a very major news. So despite that, I hope that the president's talk tomorrow will push price further down. So let us see how many days will it take to get to this level. Today is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So maybe up to the end of the week. So price is moving on very well, as you can see. So if you're in that trade, good for you. As I've said, we don't expect that price is going to be moving very fast, but it will be moving. That is what we can say. It will be moving. You see, it is easier to say we have patience, but if you don't have the ability to wait for the trade to unfold, it's gonna be very hard for you. It's gonna be very, very, very hard for you. The main thing we want to see right now is price coming from this level to this level. That's around 180 pips. So we are moving in profits already. But the problem is that price is just around that level. So we just have to we just have to be a bit more patient for it to get to our take profit. Otherwise, this is I will not say it's a bad trade. It's not a bad trade. It is not the best because of low volatility. By the way, if we're able to hold, if we break below that current level we are hovering around, and then price is able to continue up to these other levels here, and then it breaks this level today, that will be the beginning of our long-term sale to 33,000. Okay. So, what is your opinion? So DXY has not been able to break the lower trend line completely. So we are almost 1.5 hours into the market open. But the market has not yet retested and broken that level where I would like to go in. So for those who are joining us, my anticipation is that price will do what? Will break this level. Once it has broken that level, it will retest that level and then give us an entry. This is why it is very important to always wait for the candle close. So that is the only way we can carefully get in, but not before that. However strong our buyers might be, so since price is not doing what we would like it to do, I would wish to wait until the New York session. So I'm setting an alert at 3-4. 7.5. Imagine waiting for almost 1.5 hours for price to break a specific level. That takes a lot of patience, and that takes so for now I will wish to end my live session here until that level is broken. Thank you for your time. Let's meet during the New York session.